Okay, so Forgotten Hymns of the Failed Revolution. Well, just to give you a brief overview of where my mind was and what I was thinking about when I put this together, really. It'd been a long time since I'd written anything. It'd been about 4, maybe 5 years since I'd written any decent kind of new material, really. Musically, Forgotten Hymns was written very, very quickly, probably because of that. I think subconsciously I had all these tunes that were floating away in the back of my mind. The kickstart, funnily enough, was my wife buying me a banjo. I think I only bought me a banjo, and then within probably about 4 days of having it, I broke it. Just peg came out, very, very annoying. So I detuned my guitar to mimic a banjo so I could try learning whilst I was waiting for it to be fixed, and tuned it to G. Suddenly remembered that's how James and Bradford plays Small Black Clouds That Grow in the Sky, so played that was good. Suddenly started, everything I touched, I was coming out with new riffs. The first tunes that were written for the album musically were Time, for the People to Be Free, Letters, Letters to the Front Line. There was another one as well, but I can't remember. I know, doesn't matter. Those kind of came, those 3 tunes anyway, whatever they were, those 3 tunes came out. I started enjoying my music. Suddenly realised what I've been missing for the last few years. Yeah, musically then it kind of felt to go quite nicely. The only tune that's not newly written on there is Call to Arms. It just fitted in really nicely with the concept of the album. I suppose the concept of the album, well, it is a concept album to start off with. I think that came from listening to Plan B's Defamation of Strickland Banks. Stunning album. Like, I've suddenly remembered how much I enjoyed albums with a theme running through them, especially a kind of lyrical theme. So it was something I wanted to do. I'd also been struggling lyrically, because I'm one of those people that tends to write when I'm at the pits of despair, and use music as a kind of therapeutic tool, but that's no longer, because I've been happy. I met my lovely wife, coincided pretty much with me stopping writing, I suppose. Not that she's kind of said no, don't write or anything, it's just I became very happy. I didn't have anything to moan about, which is what a lot of my early stuff is. So I decided to put myself in somebody else's life so I could moan on their behalf, and it started flowing a lot nicer then. So yeah, the concept is this revolution. It's an uprising. There's people that have been living for 25 years, 20 years of tyranny, and they decide enough's enough and they rise up. Focuses very, very much on the one family within that. I wanted a human element to it. I really wanted the separation of 2 lovers to be prevalent to this. Because it kind of really highlights the pain part at the end. And B, it brings these big images that we all see on TV, especially lately with the Arab Spring, the Libya conflict, etc. And even the British riots, While I was writing this album just ahead of that, so time frame wise it's kind of even more prevalent now, I suppose. But these big images, I wanted to focus beyond those into the small innocent family within it. So my family, I've got a guy in there loosely titled Sergei, his wife is Mary. It's not referenced anywhere, but they've kind of taken on their own little characters in my life. And the first part of the album is very much about Sergei kind of having enough. That's what Raised in Chains Part 2 is. He doesn't want this future for his son. The Nightcast is all about him being approached and bullied, for want of a better word, by the state police. And the second part of Love Will Write You Well is actually, you have to visit Sibaroni.moonfruit.com, links everywhere on this YouTube, to hear the full version, because the version on here is just the first half of it. The second half of that is very much, after his father's been told him that, son, life's crap, but love will write you away, just keep through it, the best things in life are free, number one ever cliches. He's then got flipped to him saying, well, but the hardest thing in this life is knowing when something's wrong and I can't make it right, but still you've got to try. So he wants to fight. That's very much the first part of the album. The second, it moves then into kind of the uprising itself, Call to Arms, People Will Be Free. Very, very punk influence. I mean, that's where my heart always used to be, was with punk stuff. I mellowed a bit over time. But that's where those are. Call to Arms, like I say, is the only song that's not new material on this album. People Will Be Free is a lot of quotes from the Communist Manifesto. In fact, most of it is. I wanted that feel, I wanted that manifesto feel to it. So we see the kind of Sergo leaping in that opportunity, especially in the Promise, I suppose that's kind of outline, leaping on that opportunity to kind of join this fight and change his son's future. The mid part of it is where we start to see Sergo being away from his family. I think Letters is one of the more accomplished songs I've written. Very simple language, but it kind of details that separation, and you start to see how much he loves his wife and vice versa, how much it pains him to have left his wife and child behind, but still there's that bubbling belief, and that even comes through in Wait for the Dawn. Obviously quite Streets inspired, that one, musically, but I just wanted to do something. It essentially builds on Letters, which I couldn't really do in a vocal sung format. I had to do it in spoken word, because I wanted to get a lot of dialogue in there. Obviously the battle, musically massively influenced by Dinosaur Jr, Pavement as well. The dual solos is very Dinosaur Jr type of thing. I wanted that to be a sonic blast into your ears, you know, because it's a battle scene. And then Fallen, obviously is where he kind of is left, you know, from Take Me Away. There's tracks preceding that, we know he's fallen, and that's Take Me Away, sorry to go back one step, is very much Sergei's kind of final thoughts. Then Fallen is very much kind of, he's had that kind of out-of-body experience, he's just slowly ebbing away, and he has that last conversation with his comrade. He finds out the battle's lost, and it's a bit of a bugger, really. Quite a tragic end. With the Fallen Part 2, that line, "Come to me, my children, those bombs are falling, I'll protect you." I wanted to keep that really quite ambiguous, you know, because there's a God reference in Fallen, you know, our Lord Jesus. I want to keep that. Is that the kind of, okay, somebody's going to look after them, there is this great divine being? Is that actually more of a kind of reference to someone like Gaddafi, who was a self-styled leader, brother of all, saying that, "I forgive you, my people"? Yeah, I wanted to leave it quite open to interpretation. There is kind of more to come on the album, but very brief overview for you there. Thanks for your time, and do visit the website, and if you like the stuff, drop me an email, let me know, and don't forget to buy the songs as well. Many thanks.